And I'm glad you had Kyle with you on that mission. There was a lot of enemies.
Yeah, honestly, I had him there, but I wonder what he was doing. I really could have used his help.
So
Scientist.
what are we doing next?
Honestly, I was thinking about that. See, I want to go to Tatooine again, just because it seems like chronologically I should. But I've been looking at some of these other
I
planets.
love that droid recovery mission. That's a fun mission. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you know what? I think I actually am going to do this. So
Good. All right.
let's see what we got here.
Cool.
Uh,
That's a good mission.
okay, someone
Moisture
overheard.
farmer on Tatooine recently overheard a group of smugglers talking about a Sith cult in a local bar. He had his R5 droid record the conversation. Unfortunately, he became afraid and sold the droid to some Jawas before leaving Tatooine. We need to get a hold of that droid before the Jawas wipe its memory.
This should be a total blue milk run, kid. But it'll give you a chance to pick up some negotiating skills. Let's head to Tatooine.
A blue milk run.
Alrighty. I don't know what that
what's a
means.
blue
I
milk run?
have no idea. It's a Kyle Katarn term.
Alrighty, well,
It's probably what he calls an easy mission.
right.
I mean, then again, these missions always have complications.
See, I'm glad I get this little screen after, I hope, every mission, because
Yes,
I've been thinking a lot about this, and
I
I
think
am
you
going to
do.
get Force Heal just because
No, yeah,
I
definitely.
do not find a lot of health packs with the difficulty that I'm playing on, and I'm hoping that it'll help me out.
You know what? I also, just from a lore standpoint, I think Force Heal is a really cool ability to have. In the idea of designing a Jedi, I would always design a Jedi with Force Heal.
Gotta go with my old standard loadout. I'm really liking the bowcaster, honestly. I find myself using that more and more.
Jawas, never around when you need them. Tracks. Maybe they've already come and gone. Go see if you can find their sandcrawler. They might have stopped in that canyon. I'll talk to the moisture farmers, see if they know anything about this cult.
All right.
Don't worry, Jawas are pretty friendly.
What's up, guys? My name is Patrick, and welcome to another Let's Play of Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I honestly forget what episode we're on, but it doesn't matter. We're on Tatooine, and we were just on Tatooine, but this looks so different from the place we just were. Guest commentating, by the way, with me again is my friend Jake.
Hey guys, I'm Jake Foley.
And as you can see, we're already getting into the shit. I found some Jawas.
Yeah, and some Tusken Raiders as well, obviously.
Yeah, actually proven
These guys
pretty
are
challenging.
they are
Jeez.
tough. They will attack you up close. They attack you from a distance with their rifles.
I think my goal here is to try and keep these Jawas alive.
I gotta say, man, this is one of my favorite missions in this game. The amount of distance that you travel and all the different enemies that you fight and all the different things that you do in this mission is really, really cool.
I mean, look at where I am right now.
Oh, easy
sorry.
there.
Yeah, I want to keep the Jawas alive, not
Yeah, man,
slice them.
lightsabers are realistic in this game. You gotta remember that.
Yeah.
You can't just, touch somebody with it.
I'll try and be a little bit more mindful, but with those textures, man,
What
whatever
was
you
that force?
download.
Was that Force Heal?
Yeah,
Okay.
Force Heal just took me from 88 to 100 in a matter
Yeah,
of seconds.
I was also going to say the sand is looking a lot better than when I first played the game with these textures.
But just imagine, look at this canyon. That's pretty cool. I mean, these guys came out, there's a lot of places for these guys to hide. I've also found out how to turn my lightsaber off, which, as you can see, is a little bit useful, so I don't hurt these guys.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, they're hiding behind, literally every rock. They're setting up ambushes every step of the way.
Man.
Yeah, I really like this mission. It's got a real simple premise. You basically just dispatched out into the desert to find a droid. And I mean, I don't know what kind of droid exactly it is, but when you end up seeing the droid, you realize that there's thousands and thousands of these droids in the Star Wars universe. I mean, they're everywhere. So this is really like finding a needle in a haystack, really.
More like a needle in a stack of Tusken Raiders. This is terrible.
That was a nice lightsaber headshot.
Oh, look. Sniper.
That's what I was talking about before. They got snipers. And you're going to have to use that bowcaster. Yeah, I would probably use that. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
One hit.
Boom. See him
I think
fall?
did he fall? Yeah,
Yes,
I saw him fall. That
This game is very impressive with the
was
first
cool.
person.
was cool.
Oh, boy. Come on, guys. Oh,
Ooh. kick up.
Side roll.
Later on in the game, I'm pretty sure you can do a recovery from that, where someone knocks you down and you essentially do like a kip up and you hit them in the chest and you knock them down.
Oh, I did that before, actually.
Oh, you can do it. Can you do it this early in the game?
Yeah, apparently it's just
Okay.
if you push forward, you do that kip up.
You did a backflip.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
another sniper.
I've had, like, later in the game, I've had duels against Siths where they'll knock me down, I'll do one of them, and I'll hit them, I'll knock them down. They'll jump back up, and they'll hit me in the chest, and we'll just kind of go back and forth like that until one of us gets a hit on another one.
That ought to get him.
Yeah, the amount of, like, choreography, the amount of different varied attacks that you could do in this game, even for today, was really, really advanced. And I mean, you know, I can't believe it. Especially when you got into like the multiplayer and you start to realize how effective some of these techniques are or aren't against other real players. And I mean, it's just a frenzy. The multiplayer, I remember, was really, really hard when I played it.
Do you remember what I was trying to do with that guy in the hallway?
Oh yeah, they get the.
I'm pretty sure here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. You got it.
Yep. Actually, these things bounce quite a bit. They bounce off of at least two surfaces if you're not firing too close to you.
Yeah, that recoil is interesting. I never thought of using it that way, but glad you finally got it to work. Oh, first death.
Oh my god, I flew across the room.
I gotta say, I didn't see that coming. You were doing pretty good.
I mean, it is difficult, and I really did underestimate the difficulty of these
Jawas,
guys. You know,
never around when you need them. Tracks. Maybe they've already come and gone. Go see if you can find their sandcrawler. They might have
I
stopped
wonder
in
what
that
Kyle's
canyon.
doing during all
I'll
this.
talk to the moisture
you know,
farmer.
Didn't he say
If they
he's
know
talking
anything
to
about this
locals
cult.
or something?
yeah, he said he's
Alright.
gonna go talk to the moisture
Don't worry.
farmer, see what he can find out. But
He's gonna go have a drink with some fat moisture farmer
Yeah,
while you're
I
out
mean-
here getting attacked by ambushes of Tusken Raiders.
it just seems that every mission, Kyle is going to talk to some old friend or some contact that he knows. And you know what's funny is whatever I'm doing, I end up finding out way more than he ends up finding out in all
Well,
of his time away.
I think that he might be maybe not letting on to everything he knows just to give you that learning experience as his apprentice.
So this is a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, you're technically in your training right now. I mean, I know it's a full-fledged mission, but you are technically in your training.
Yep.
You know, that's how Jedi training works at this point in the history of the galaxy.
What a nice master.
And,
What
nice, got another
what
one hit
unique
kill, and he
techniques.
falls. And he falls.
I love that every time.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna. Earlier I said Kyle goes and has a drink, but then again, if you see what is going on now.
First person camera.
Wow.
Man, that was kind of cool.
Whoa.
Getting knocked. Oh my god, that guy went flying.
You sent him flying about a football field.
I hit him with all 5 of those at once. I guess it kind of hurts.
Yeah, it's like a shotgun blast. Yeah, well, Kyle goes and sits off, but
See him serpentining there?
you know, I guess it makes sense because if you see what he goes through in Jedi Outcast, he's paid his dues. He deserves to have the easy part of the mission while the young apprentice goes and does all this nonsense.
Yeah, I guess you can call this really the no. Oh my god.
Nice. Yeah, Kyle is a proven badass at this point.
Oh, come on, so am I. You see the badass flip that guy just did?
Nah, you're just an apprentice.
I'm a Padawan.
We'll just wait until you get like 2 lightsabers or something, then you'll be a badass.
Because these guys fire so much at me that it seems that...
Yeah, honestly, because the map
This
is
is not
so
the weapon
big,
for this.
it's almost better to use ranged weapons here because in the time that it takes for you to get up to them, and
Nice.
your blaster reflecting ability is not high enough at this point, and you're playing on such a high difficulty that they're just going to kill you when you're trying to run up to them. So you might be better off just sticking with the blaster for a little while, at least when you're outdoors like this.
I mean, it's certainly helping me now because they're getting those hits on me with those gaffy sticks. They're really knocking me down and knocking me on my ass, taking away a lot of my health because they can hit me when I'm on the ground. And that's where I find myself losing like chunks of 10, 20 health. It's pretty bad. As you can see,
Yeah,
they keep...
I'm glad you got that ability.
Yeah,
That's
me
actually
too.
coming in
It's
common.
really useful because force regenerates pretty quickly, and I can just sit here and wait, use
Yeah,
it again.
yeah, you can just you can actually do this until you have full health if you really want to.
So I'm gonna play this a little smarter this time. I'm gonna try. I have a lightsaber.
Yeah, you're in
But
closer.
look at my health. Look at my health already.
It's more CQC here, so I think your lightsaber will hopefully be a little more useful.
God damn it, dude. Why don't you just
Oh,
die?
there you go. There you go. He's dead. Now there's going to be a couple guys down here at the end of the hallway. I think there's like 3 at least.
Gotta figure out what to do with them.
Oh, there are 4 of them. You're at 79 health. You should be good to at least take out 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, let that
1 or
run.
2?
There you go. Nice. Alright. Be careful up here.
Jeez. I think you might be right with the blasters. I'm probably going to stick with these mostly indoors.
Yeah, just this mission, it seems that it's coming in handy more than your lightsaber. I don't know.
You know, if you don't mind me saying, this area is really like, these textures are beautiful. I'm getting a very Half-Life-y feel just from this area. I don't know why. It's reminding me a lot of like Black Mesa.
Yeah, you know, the similar art style of like a game that was made around that time. So.
I mean, you see those crates that I just passed with the little marking on them? Those are actually explosive crates.
Yeah, this place is filled with explosive crates.
I mean, I love that it's like, in the Star Wars universe, I know that they designed their own element to everything, like down to their own drinks in the bars that are called cantinas, you know, down to bands that play and the instruments that the bands play and who the people are in the band, what species of alien they are, all that shit. But to just not see like that standard crappy red and white barrel with fire on the side, it's nice for once. Like,
yeah,
I
Star
don't want
Wars
to
is
no
neat.
cliches, but this game has everything that I want in a game without pulling off any cliches, you know? Like,
Star Wars
like
is
it.
neat in the sense that it... Oh, there you go, damn. I thought you had him. I didn't know I was slowing down. Star Wars is cool in the sense that it's such a... like you said, everything about it is different than the
Jawas.
equivalent of what it would be in our universe. You know, their explosive gas barrels are dark gray cubes with lights on them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's such a fleshed out universe, and everything in that universe is so detailed and so well thought out that you can run into a building, like you can run in here and look at those and know that they're explosive barrels, and everything has a certain familiarity to it with Star Wars, and that's, I think, the sign of a truly well-crafted universe, is when you can feel familiar in an entirely alien setting. Nice.
Kind of forgot I had Force Lightning, you know? Oh, man.
Damn,
I am
these
really
guys are
dying a lot. I mean, I know this is hard, but I gotta work on this. I'm trying to strategize, but there's just, you know what it is? Like, Tusken Raiders are known for, like, raiding in numbers, and they're holding this place down. They're holding this entire valley down, I'm
They're
assuming.
known for walking in single file lines, so they hide their numbers also. Did you know that?
No, I did not. No, I did not, and that is why I have you here.
I guess you've never listened to Obi-Wan in episode 4.
Well, no. I guess I didn't.
No, I think it's a joke that in episode 4, when he looks at the Tusken Raider blaster fire on the side of the sandcrawler, I think he says something along the lines of like this shot pattern is too neat for Tusken Raiders, and I think that's so funny. He's implying that it's a bunch of stormtroopers that shot up the sandcrawler, and that the shot patterns of a stormtrooper would be like really, really accurate, and yet in all these movies, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that stormtroopers can't hit the side of a barn. They're incredibly inaccurate. However, in the Phantom Menace, during the pod racing scene, I remember a couple of Tusken Raiders managing to shoot out the engine block of a pod racer that was going hundreds of miles an hour. So I think that they totally mixed that up. These guys are pretty damn accurate. And stormtroopers are about the most inaccurate soldiers that have ever graced sci-fi.
Yeah, I guess they were accurate enough and neat enough with their grouping for Obi-Wan to tell them apart from Tusken Raiders. Okay, so I'm going to save here, and hopefully that helps. Because we are playing on such a high difficulty, I keep forgetting that. Last time I played this, I played it on the easiest difficulty ever, so I really got to keep that in mind. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool. Secret area. You found you found the corpse of C-3PO, man. What the heck?
I mean,
that's
what
dark.
are you doing here, buddy?
Found the-
Is it the corpse, or is he just taken apart? Can you put him back together?
No, that is the disassembled corpse of C-3PO with his eyes staring wide at you. They follow you as you walk around the room.
That's great.
That is dark.
Cole? Can't get through here.
This is cool, though. This is a cool secret area.
I see the sandcrawler through there.
I wonder if you could, like, look in here from another area because of that hole. That looks like it actually leads somewhere. It's just you can't go through it. That's cool.
I'll have to find out. Oh, more of these guys.
Slayer. Nice.
And getting real good with the lightsaber thread. Yeah. It's a lot of fun throwing the lightsaber around, too, just having the control over it in the air.
Yeah, and you get even more control over it as your force powers get better. You know, like I said in one of the earlier episodes of this, it gets to the point where you can throw your lightsaber and it hangs out there for like 10 seconds and just spins around like a buzzsaw that you can control. And it is like it is a monster attack. It is so damn devastating.
God, I cannot wait.
But at the same time, at that level in the game, the opponents you're fighting are also like Sith, and they can basically force pull, and they can take your lightsaber away from you if you're not careful with that. So there's a benefit and also a downside to it.
Hopefully, I will have some mastery over the combat style of the lightsaber, and when I do get to choose, as you said, I do get to choose what kind of lightsaber I get to have.
Well, yeah, you'll get to choose what kind of lightsaber you have going forward, and you'll also get to choose what combat form you want to take, in the sense that you get to choose between a fast style and a strong style. And what that means is that you'll hold your lightsaber differently for each style. With the fast style, I believe you hold it, down. Yeah, I can't really show your viewers, but you can see me. So you hold your lightsaber like this, and in the strong style, you hold your lightsaber out in front of you vertically. And and the strong style is a little bit slower. It's a little more power-based, as you can probably guess, and the fast style is obviously much quicker, and it's more for blitz and skirmishing. But that will happen possibly after this set of missions, I think.
Man, these guys are just around every corner. They really are.
They own this town.
They own this town.
I don't know if this was like a town that they took over and they're basically occupying it, because it seems pretty well built to be like a Tusken Raider establishment.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems like a place that people lived, and then these guys just came and killed everyone, and now they're basically using these spiky things that are pointing out of the ground that you're right next to. Are moisture collectors, basically. In the original movie, you can actually see that Luke's uncle has one on the farm, and that's what moisture farmers use to collect moisture out of. I don't know if they're collecting it out of the atmosphere or out of the ground, but that's how they collect moisture on Tatooine. So obviously, this was some kind of moisture farmer establishment that these Tusken Raiders came in, and they probably slaughtered everyone, and now they're occupying the place, and maybe they're even using the moisture generators, and who knows what else. But it's kind of interesting what you can deduce from a situation like this if you know a little bit about what various things are in Star Wars.
I mean, if you kind of take a look, I'm sorry for fiddling with my lightsaber
That's
there.
cool.
It's just
I did that all the time.
You see where we are right now? It's interesting you point out that there are even Tusken Raiders here, because yes, look at these buildings. Look at the things sticking out of the ground. I wonder if I can even get in here. No, I cannot.
don't think
okay. So. Look at where this town is built. It is built on canyon slopes. Like
It's
on
really
the canyon
you're
cliffs.
really high up.
It is really probably meant to get away from the Tusken Raiders. You know, that I mean, look at this bridge. You're telling me that
exactly.
that wall,
Yeah.
this establishment right here.
I'm not really sure what this is meant to be. It does look like it was kind of supposed to be a defendable position, but obviously that didn't work.
What kind of droid is that? Is that the droid?
Yeah, see, that's no. I won't. Hopefully not. You shot him, but
You didn't blow up, so it makes me think you did.
no, the droid the droid you're looking for is not a protocol droid. He's either like an R5 unit or a conk droid or something like that.
Sniper is probably not the best weapon for this, but
well, it did the job.
it's the one that I want to waste ammo for.
Nice.
What are you doing standing on a rooftop, man? You waiting to snipe me? But yeah, I wonder if they, like... They must be just an aggressive species, of aggressive group of people to, like, invade so thoroughly.
Yeah, they're interesting. They're obviously very tribal in their nature and in their mannerisms. And in the expanded universe,
this is not the droid we're looking for.
I remember there was a character, a Sharad Het, whose father was a Jedi. And this guy he lived during the Clone Wars. And he actually went to, I'm a little foggy on the details, but he went to Tatooine and essentially dressed up as a Tusken Raider and began living among them as like a deep cover agent. And he did this for like several years. And over time actually became accepted by the Sand People. And Sharad Het was basically just a human. So definitely a really interesting group of people if they were willing to accept an outsider like that, but they're so hostile towards everyone else.
I mean, yeah, even in the Kodar games, you do get a brief look at their, what you could call their more general political side, if it's even that. I mean, it's an eye for an eye mentality, but...
They're obviously very territorial.
Oh, extremely. I mean, look where they are now. That's exactly my point.
Well, I'm more referring to Kodar, where in Kodar they're being your interactions with them in Kodar, basically it's about them being very, very territorial, and they're now butting heads with Zerka as a result of it. That's where you find them. And
whereas in this, they're just kind of pushing into new areas.
Yeah, they're just an enemy type here. I mean, I think you got to remember this is thousands of years
4,000
later.
years,
Yeah.
4,000 years later.
Yeah, really, really long time later. It's kind of strange to think that.
Yeah, that's also that's an interesting thought. You know what else, actually? Speaking of the past, let's actually look in the future. I have an interesting question.
Okay.
Based on, me just playing, I know I'm playing Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, I just played the Kodar games. Finding out all this interesting stuff about the extended universe, you being my friend and, like, kind of book learning me on all of this stuff.
Oh, you played Kodar 1. You haven't played Kodar 2
I haven't played
yet.
Kodar 2. I need to specify that. So
glad to caught you on that.
Thank you. Working on it when you get back into that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But my question is, we focus so much on the past, you being my friend and us talking about Star Wars. Where do you think, with who owns Star Wars and with us trying to bring it back for like this new generation of kids, we're maybe not focusing so much on the childhood aspect of it, but we're trying to revamp it like it was vamped in 1977, when the first Star Wars came out and people didn't really know what to expect of it, because sure, we have the Star Wars that's made right now, like
dropping guys.
Yeah, always got to be throwing that lightsaber, man. But we have the Star Wars that we know and love, made by George Lucas. Some people love it, hate it, whatever. But we have the Star Wars we know and love. But now it's in the hands of someone different. How do you think that's going to change how do you think that's going to be for the future of children? What do you think we can come to expect from Star Wars?
Well, essentially, it's in the hands of Disney. More specifically, it's in the hands of J.J. Abrams and whatever other directors they choose for the other spin-offs and the other sequels. I don't know if it's J.J. for all of them.
Are these even the right Jawas?
Yeah, I guess I can't talk to them. I guess these aren't the ones I'm supposed to help. But
No, they really want to get out of here, man. That's like the equivalent of walking down a sewer and you see a bunch of rats running the other direction. You should probably a monster up ahead.
I should probably follow them to their dead-end nook.
Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, it's now in control, it's in the hands of J.J. Abrams, and the games are in the hands of EA, which a lot of people are not happy about. I think EA was actually voted like worst company in America last year or something like that.
I would believe
but
it too.
Yeah, no, the point is I'm not totally nihilistic about it. I'm not going to be totally cynical. A lot of people are. I figure why ruin my excitement for a bunch of games that could potentially be good when we haven't even heard anything about what they're going to be doing. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I gotta tell you though, I'm looking forward to the new games a lot more than I'm looking forward to the new movies. Just because, I don't know, I mean, maybe that's been my experience with Star Wars, is that I really, really love going into these games and exploring what we don't get to see in the movies. And then the other cool thing is that a lot of times, like I remember with the prequel trilogy, there was a surplus of games that came out when the prequel trilogy was being released. And you would see these games that were coming out with these brand new concepts that we had only seen hinted at in the movies. So maybe we only see something for a couple seconds in the movies. But then they can take that thing and expand on it in a video game or in some kind of expanded universe thing. And I think that's why I've always kind of preferred the video games, because I remember being a kid and just wanting to know more about a lot of these things that we only saw glimpses of in the movies, and then you get to go into the video game and like for instance Droidekas, which we only see for a couple of scenes in the prequels. We see destroyer droids. Mm-hmm. I remember playing Star Wars Battlefront for the first time and it blew my mind that you get to control a destroyer droid and that you can actually roll up and deploy the shields and everything. And I mean, that was the coolest thing ever to me, getting to drive those vehicles and whatever. So I think what we're going to see basically is the new movie's going to come out, Episode 7. And all the video games that are going to come out around that time are probably going to be pretty heavily influenced by Episode 7. I wouldn't expect to see any kind of Old Republic era stuff. I wouldn't expect to see any kind of sequels to existing Star Wars franchises. I would expect to see brand new games, brand new titles that really, really focus on elements that are probably going to be introduced in Episode 7. So as far as what those elements are, I mean, we're really just going to have to wait and see. But no doubt that it's essentially going to be hand in hand with whatever's going on in Episode 7. So, hopefully Episode 7's good, so we can get some good games as a result of that.
It's an interesting viewpoint. It's very optimistic and very unique. I mean, I'm also excited for the new future of the Star Wars video gaming front because, as I said, I've been focusing so heavily in the last couple of years at getting myself. I'm enjoying playing these games more and more, and I'm almost finding myself like I only have Kodar 2 left to play. I've played through the terror that is the terrible thing that is the Old Republic.
Yeah, we're not big fans of the MMO here.
I'm extremely happy that you told me to play those games. You even told me just casually mentioned it one day, and I just got really into it. You even told me, warned me that it might not be the play style of something that I would get into, and I just, I played it, and I kept playing it, and I kept playing it, and playing it. And it did take me about a year to finish that game, but I remember my experiences in that game, and to learn the big secrets of that game as they unfold to you, as the story unfolds, it was awesome. And I looked at Star Wars a whole different way.
Yeah.
So, me playing this game, I'm enjoying it more and more. Like, I thought the beginner levels were good, but geez. I'm on Tatooine right now, and I'm in a canyon. I've never really seen, other than maybe when, Luke finds Ben Kenobi after he's, getting raped by Tusken Raiders. Ben Kenobi does that dragon yell, and then he's in that kind of walled-off canyon little thing in the distance. I mean, that's the most we see of really rocks on Tatooine. And in here, we're in this entire enclosed-off canyon with this sandcrawler that's just, I guess, stuck and taken over by these Tusken Raiders.
And that's the cool thing about video game designers doing their take on a pre-established universe. They, like you said, we see that canyon, and from an art perspective, the concept artist in charge of the video game looks at that canyon and they go, okay, so that's what Tatooine looks like. And so when we design this map on Tatooine, we're going to take inspiration from that. A great example of this would be DICE's Battlefront game that they have coming out soon.
It's actually out, if you can believe it.
They're
Hardline.
Oh, no, sorry. That's Battlefield. That's Battlefield.
Okay.
I'm talking Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh.
DICE's new Star Wars Battlefront.
I got confused because you
yeah,
said DICE.
the titles are so similar and they're made by
there?
the same company. I get confused too.
Interesting.
Yeah, their new. Oh yeah, be careful here. This place is pretty weird.
I think I know what to do. I'm just gonna make sure.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bust like the coolant pipes down below, and it will essentially like solidify the lava. I don't know how the heck that works from a chemistry standpoint, but
I mean, honestly, just look at this in a game. Come on. I gotta hit this thing with my lightsaber to
There you
break
go.
open water and cool the floor. Oh, where's my lightsaber? It is in the pipe. There it is. Okay.
oh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so DICE's new Star Wars Battlefront is a great example of the art designers taking direct influence from the source material. In this case, the original 3 movies, where they've talked about how they went to the sets, the redwood forests used to film the actual Endor scenes in Episode 6, and they're going there and they're actually taking visual inspiration for the way that they designed the maps in the new Star Wars Battlefront game, and I'm extremely excited to see how that turns out. I really hope that they are able to get their hands on like some of the original set models and things that LucasArts used for the movies, and I don't know if there's a way to 3D scan those things, but I mean we can get really close to the exact environments that were seen in the movies in these new video games if they choose to go that route, and it seems like DICE is.
DICE is a pretty good example of well, not DICE, but Battlefront is a great example of a game, the Star Wars future of gaming. It's the first kind of look into that we really get.
Pretty much, yeah. It's basically like the first legitimate new Star Wars game that we've gotten a peek at, and we really haven't seen like anything from it. I mean, we've seen a couple of developer interviews, essentially their dev diaries. Precisely one dev diary, to be honest. I mean, so we've seen like nothing on the game. I mean,
The guy just jumped to avoid that attack.
they've done a good job at keeping a closed mouth policy about it.
Well, yeah, you know what? I appreciate that when game companies do that, because if I know something about the game, even if I know a little bit is less than just is worse to me than just knowing everything.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
exactly.
release
Do you
anything,
really
release
want to
it
have
all at once?
Do you really want to have another situation where you get people as excited as they were for Star Wars 1313, and then you don't release the game?
Jawas have.
Let's not.
I think
things that are in
that's what I mean.
development
I think they
now, or that don't
learned from
exist anymore.
their. I think they learned from their mistakes with that one. I mean, that wasn't exactly their mistakes, but I think they learned from the mistake of 1313 that, maybe you don't show off a new game when you're going to sell the entire company next month.
Yeah.
Again, this is probably all completely unrelated. I highly doubt that the people involved with making 1313 had any idea that LucasArts was about to be sold, but still. That's a heartache for all of us fans, man. That game looked awesome, and now we're not going to get to see it.
Well, George Lucas's mind works on a coin flip basis.
Yeah, but George Lucas isn't in power anymore, and I also wanted to
anymore.
mention, I know I haven't told you this yet, Amy Hennig who has apparently been brought in by... she's a video game writer. She's really good. She's been brought in by Visceral, which is the team that did Dead Space,
yes,
to do some kind of... She's going to do the writing for some kind of Star Wars-related game done by Visceral. I mean, none of this has been completely confirmed. Amy Hennig's hire has been confirmed, but there's really nothing confirmed about the game. But that could mean great things. We could be getting, the resurrection of Star Wars 1313 here under a great developer with a great writer in charge. So that is why I'm cautiously optimistic.
You must be the droid we were sent for.
Who knows? I mean, we might see the resurrection of 1313, or we might see
something entirely new,
equally dark, entirely new Star Wars experience.
They can make Death Troopers. You know what I mean? The Dead Space team.
That would be freaking.
We could see it. We could see a
Death
horror
Troopers made by the Dead Space people.
Who knows?
I mean, Dead Space, in and of itself, let's just agree on one thing. All 3 games are exactly the same. Someone will argue that the 3rd game is slightly different. I've played all of them. They're exactly the same. It's go here, get this, bring it back. It doesn't work. Something happens.
Realistically, though, I don't think we're going to get
something else.
I don't think we're going to get a Death Troopers game because that's expanded universe, so it's now not.
It's always fun to...
That was a beautiful final strike, by the way.
I was starting to get worried. Any problems?
Not unless you count the sand people I ran into.
Well, you're still in one piece, so you must have handled yourself all right. Let's get this droid back to the Academy.
Good work, Jaden. Kyle tells me you recovered the droid on your own. It's too bad about the Jawas. R2 will scour the droid's memory banks and see what information it turns up. I have some troubling news. While Kyle and I attended to the crashed shuttle, someone broke into my quarters and sliced into my records. R2 is trying to figure out what they may be looking for.
So, how's your training going? I've been sent on a few errands, nothing exciting.
Same here. I guess that's just how the training works.
I thought it was just me. Ever wonder if your master is holding you back? You know, making sure you don't become too powerful?
Why would you say that?
Well, Kyle doesn't seem to really foster my talents. I've gone on a couple of missions with him, but doesn't let me do any of the really important stuff.
Maybe he's observing you. You know, seeing how you accomplish your missions. I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not so sure. What do you think, Jaden?
Well, Ready to get back out there? Did I interrupt something?
No, not at all. Well, I'm ready. Let's go.